Good morning, team, and welcome to episode 12, Cajun Tiger Plays, another episode of Dyson Sphere Program. This is a Let's Play series. I'm Cajun Tiger, and this channel is Cajun Tiger Plays. We are working on a Dyson Sphere Program game. We are building a Dyson Sphere, and we are at the third research science stage. So we are going to make an array in order to make our yellow science, also known as structure science. So let's get some of these miners started on our hole over here and see how we can do.
Research complete.
I had one opportunity when I was playing this, getting ready for these games. I had one time that I played that I actually got all of these miners in place properly without any rotation and had at least six on each one. And that's not going to happen today, so that's all right. We'll get it still. Okay, so thought I'd play with that just a little bit and try to see if we could make it work, but it's not going to happen. All right, we're going to build an array here for our smelters, and we'll talk about why in just a moment. We are, like I said just a few minutes ago, we are building, oops, that was too many tabs. We are building our array for yellow science. Well, in order to build yellow science, we need, you guys will recall, titanium crystals. And in order to make titanium crystals, we need organic crystals. In the past, we've done that with water and wood and leaves, but unfortunately, that is not a long-term solution. That was just enough to get us to the interstellar logistics station. So now we need regular yellow science. So we're going to use the other recipe, which is plastic, refined oil, and water. And in order to do plastic, we need refined oil and the energetic graphene that we have made before. So we're going to tap into coal, uh, these coal nodes, coal veins, if I can get the words out of my mouth, coal veins to make our energetic graphene. And if you recall, energetic graphene is two coal to make one energetic graphene. So we need two sides of our belt filled up in order to make a full belt of energetic graphene coming out. So we'll plop our sorters down, do our copy paste there, do our copy paste here with a tab, and add some Tesla towers to get that array working, and then we'll add a Tesla tower over here to get all of our miners working. All right, so all that done. If you recall, in our last episode, we did a little bit of building, a little bit of construction to be ready to build, and all of our equipment, all of our machines that we need are ready for us to go. So we'll put our two oil seeps here. You can see this one up here is 2.6, this one is 2.2. So altogether we're almost at 5, not quite. Uh, and that will come handy as a number to remember in just a minute. These factory games, these automation games, if you don't like math, you're probably playing the wrong game. And we'll cover that mineral depleted message in just a minute. So we are building all the way out here. It's outside of our building range, so I have to come back just a little bit. We're going to come all the way out there. And then we're going to connect that second line in. And what we're doing, we want our output to come down right around here, this line, because that's where our graphene is being output, and we can start processing to make plastic over there. So if we jump back in here and look at our normal recipe for oil is we get 2 refined oil, we get 1 hydrogen, and we get that out in 4 seconds. And it takes 2 oil to do that. So we get half an oil per second. So if we have almost 5, then we can easily manage with 10 refineries. And this is a recipe you guys are very, very, very familiar with. We've used it several times here. So we're just going to bring that over for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we'll bring the other side down. We're going to do it just a tad different this time than we've done in the past. We're going to shake things up. We're going to take our oil out on a different side than we normally do. All right, pick our recipe there and take the oil in. Make that one. And then we are going to take the oil out on this side and the hydrogen out on this side. I'll explain why in just a minute. Let's get the rest of these belts built so that we can copy and paste everything and see how that goes.
Research complete.
We are getting tons of research done. We don't hurry up and finish our yellow structure science, we're going to fall behind because we're not going to have anything left to research that doesn't need yellow science. So let's hurry up and get this done. Finish up these belts here, and then we can copy and paste our recipe. Again, you'll need to use tab to get the spacing right. I believe it's 4 tabs. And that gets everything in place. Wait for those belts to be built and good to go. And we want to power this setup. So we'll put a Tesla tower here and we can just drag that all the way across. That takes care of that. And we'll add a Tesla tower there, Tesla tower here for that oil refinery, and then we'll add one more there to pick up that oil, not refinery, the oil pump. All right, now we're going to take the next 10 of our refineries, and before we do that, we're going to take this belt, which has our hydrogen on it. We're going to bring it all the way back through here. We're going to take this belt and we're going to skip a row. Oops. Skip a row, and we're going to come all the way back here. And then we're going to come down here, and this coal that we tapped into, the third of our full belt of coal, 2 miners, up to 12 total veins covered, and we get a full belt of coal. So we're going to use that full belt of coal here, and we'll talk about this recipe in just a minute. Let's plop that down. Okay, now while the drones go about building all of those things, we will take our refinery and put it in place. Look at the recipe. As soon as it's there, there we go. All right, this is a new recipe. We just researched this recently. Now you'll remember in this top array, each one of those refineries is giving us 2 refined oil and 1 hydrogen. Down here, if you look at the right side of the formula, we are using 2 refined oil and 1 hydrogen. So exactly the same amount, plus coal. And it gives us just refined oil, which is what we want. We want refined oil. It does 3 every 4 seconds. So 3 of these will give us 9, 4 of these will give us 12, which means for 4 of them, we will have 1 per second. So we've got plenty of room there. So we'll pick our recipe. Let's put a belt down for that output of refined oil, and we're going to bring it all the way back over here. And we'll finish out these belts, and then we can put our sorters in place and copy and paste to get our full array of refineries handling all of this oil and hydrogen and coal. All right. So we want to take a sorter in, and the reason we put the hydrogen on the outside and the refined oil on the inside is refined oil takes 2, everything else was just 1. So it just gives us a little bit of an edge on taking that refined oil into the process. Doesn't necessarily need to be that way because our sorters handle very well. You'll also note that since we only have 1 output here, there is no filter. So we just get our 1 output for, oops, we want to click and drag one output for the refined oil. Then we're going to tab 4 times again, and that will fill in all of those. All of those in place, we can add some power poles again, some Tesla towers to power this, and then we want to connect that power here. And we should soon see everything start running. We'll get refined oil out of that system. We want to put a tank here so that we can collect the refined oil in case we produce more than we actually need. And then we are going to put a splitter here so that we can actually take refined oil out from 2 different directions. One direction is going to go right down here with our energetic graphene, and it's going to flow through that way. Then the energetic graphene will come over, and we'll get to that in just a second. We need to come down here, and we'll need to cover this up with our foundations so that we can build in this area as well. And we are going to build, I can find them. We're going to build our chemical plants. There they are. We're going to start right here, and we'll build 10 chemical plants. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chemical plants. Get our graphene, our energetic graphite, and our refined oil all the way over there. You can see our belts already are filling up with both of those. And we want to make plastic here. So plastic calls for refined oil and energetic graphene. It does call for more refined oil. If we were really concerned with being extremely particular, we could have put the refined oil on the inside path, but we didn't do that. Now we want to output our plastic, but we're going to direct output it into 10 more chemical plants. So, and here's why. Let's build that chemical plant, and we'll pick our recipe for our organic crystal. And if you look at the bottom, it takes 2 plastic every 6 seconds. So that's 1 plastic every 3 seconds. Well, if we look at our recipe here, we make 1 plastic every 3 seconds. So it's a perfect match, which means we can direct output straight into that chemical plant to make the plastic, to pass along the plastic that we need.
Research complete.
All right, and we are completely out of research again, so we're going to go back into our technology menu, and we are going to, can't do that one yet because of needing some yellow science. So let's see, I believe all of these call for yellow science. There's one that doesn't. We don't really need the explosive unit. I would rather come up here and start doing some of these on our main quest. We can do our geothermal extraction, which we will eventually use, and our solar sail orbit system, which we will eventually use. All right. So we also need to get the refined oil here. So we'll just bring that in this way, and that will get another line of refined oil. And we are going to need an output line for the organic crystals. And then finally, we are going to need the input line for our water. So we're going to draw a line here just so we know where we're going. Going to grab our foundations, and we're going to, let's see, how do we want to do this? Let's build our water extractors. We want to build them this way. We're going to need foundation for that, so let's build our foundation here. And with that foundation in place, we should be able to put our water extractors right along there. And there's the 3 that we salvaged from our other build. We can just bring the water right through that way. There we go. Now we need a little bit of power to power those water. And we need power here. And we'll just put this down as we go back. Let's drop a few more belts for the drones to be working on while we keep working on power here all the way through. One of the cool things when you drag a belt, when you drag a line of those chemical plants, is you have this little notch in here that you can put your power plants in. So that's kind of a cool thing. All right, so we'll bring our water all the way back there. Now we want to take our refined oil in, our water in, and our organic crystals out. All right, now with all of that done, we should see water starting to come soon. We can match here and drag all the way, drag all the way to the end, and then we can copy that one, and we can get it lined up. Well, it's not working there. Okay, we'll drag that one all the way to the end that way. Something about the way these belts work when you have them right on the edge, it doesn't always copy properly. So if you run into problems, that's why. You can fix it. And you can see we're already starting to get our organic crystals. So now that we have organic crystals, we can fly back to our base because we forgot to get the next thing we need. We'll grab a few things while we're back here. You can see our power generation is just flowing smoothly right now. Let's grab some more foundations while we're here. Grab these drones, and we will grab these planetary logistic towers, logistic stations. Come all the way back over here. And we'll put a planetary logistic station right here. Take our organic crystals in, give it a little bit of power, and set everything up. We want 10 of our drones, and we're going to supply organic crystals. All right, with the organic crystals built, we'll come back over here to our area where we're making yellow science in the past, and we'll make some more yellow science for the future. So let's grab a copy of that, and we can put it on the next of the main 5 spaces over main meridian there. That just kind of gives us a marker so that we know where to put our assemblers. And we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 assemblers there, and 10 assemblers here. We use our foundations to bring up this ground here so that we can put a planetary logistics station there and give it a little power as well, which that power is not going to connect, so we can just quickly add the Tesla towers that we'll need for this array. And then we'll add one over here for the yellow science build, or the yellow science research labs. And here we are going to be making, in these, we're going to be making the titanium crystal. You'll remember we need 3 titanium and we need 1 organic crystal. So let's set our recipe for both of those. That'll be our templates. And we'll bring titanium in first. We want to demand titanium, and we want to demand organic crystals. Let's put our 10 drones in place. We will fill it with power and fill it with our minimum load. And now we should be able to grab this, and we want a line of titanium for the top row. Again, it uses 3 in each one, so there's 10, that's 30. I think our recipe is longer than 1 second, but that gets us 30 for each of those, and click on the right thing. We'll bring a line of organic crystals down the middle. Then, of course, we want output for each of these. So put an output line for titanium crystals there, and another output line for titanium crystals here. All right, come back over here and start working on our build. Let's zoom in a little bit so we don't get blinded by drones running in the way. Take our titanium in, and then we'll take our organic crystals in. Now, unlike the, oops, that's not right. Well, unlike the build that we did previously for the hydrogen fuel rods, we don't need a ton of extra hydrogen going in. We don't need a ton of extra titanium going in. So one belt is one sorter is enough. We will manually build those since our drones are busy working somewhere else. And then we'll connect our output lines, and we should see titanium crystals coming out very, very soon out of this top side. We're not getting, oh, I messed up here. They're not getting titanium because I didn't tell it to send titanium out that side. Okay. So yeah, so you know they say when you're doing this kind of videos, when you're establishing a social media presence, whatever it is I'm doing these days, whatever that is, they say you have to have find your niche. Well, I think my niche is just to show you that you can play these games and you don't have to be optimal. You can make a plan, and sometimes that plan works, and sometimes you just make mistakes. And you fix it, and you play the game, and you keep going because it's fun. We enjoy playing this game. So that's my niche. Just in case you guys are wondering, that's kind of where I'm thinking my niche is going to be, just to show you that you can still play the game and be suboptimal if you need to be. So, all right, get rid of all of this. Our poor diamond build. Diamonds are not forever in this game, let me tell you. I wish diamonds were as easy to make as they are in this game, then we would all be very rich people. So we have rearranged our diamonds quite a bit as we've gone along, but I think this is where we're going to leave our diamonds. So we'll take our titanium crystals in, take our diamonds in, both of those, and get rid of that. And let's drop off all of those diamonds there. We can drop off the organic crystals we have, and we can drop off the titanium crystals that we have. Now we see that we're building yellow science finally. We will get us a line of belts there and some sorters to take those out and put them on the belt. And then last, we will tap into our height so that we can get 5 each of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just like our red cubes, we've got 1 stack of blue. We're building plenty of yellow. We do want to break this line. Break it there. And we want to put in our box, our depot right here. Let's put it down 1. We'll bring our yellow cubes up and our yellow cubes down. And the reason we do this is so that, like right now, we are researching things that do not use yellow science. So because we're researching things that don't use yellow science, these are going to fill up with a certain amount of yellow science, but they're not going to fill up with all the yellow science. You can see we're low on red science, but we are still producing blue science even though our lane is full. We still want to be producing yellow science even though our lane is full. That will let us research things more quickly. So we're going to fly over here and I will explain what's going on. So originally, if you'll recall, we started with 6 copper veins over here, and now we only have 4. So this is the reason that you sometimes want to cover more than 6, because when a vein is emptied, it is gone. So Once this vein is emptied, it'll be gone. So we don't have a big problem with our copper over here, and we're going to make it so that we have even less of a problem with our copper by adding a couple of miners on this side to handle getting us some extra copper when we need it. So now by covering 7, that means when a vein does eventually run out, we will still have 6 covered. So that helps, and that's useful until you get to the advanced miner. When you get to the advanced miner, it's not nearly as big of an issue because you have plenty of extra mining capacity with that, and we'll see that later in the game. All right, that is everything that we wanted to accomplish
Flight
today,
mode.
and we are definitely finishing underneath our limit, our time limit that I try and impose on myself. So we're doing a good job today. I did not get a chance because we were talking about so many different things. Did not get a chance to do my shout out today. So today's shout out is for my kids. I am a dad of plenty of kids. I have 4 of my own kids, I have a few in law kids, and I have several others that I've adopted along the way. So I've told my kids, and my wife and I have told them for years that family is not necessarily flesh and blood. Family is those who choose to be family. So my kids, both those who are born of my wife and I, and the ones that we've kind of unofficially adopted over time, are definitely, hopefully, they know that they are loved. They are very special to me, all of them, and I appreciate them very much. So, big shout out for my kids. When we pick up our video next time, we are going to start working on building some blueprints and some arrays that we will use going forward for the rest of the game. We've got a very, very, very big, complex base. Our power looks good right now. We've got plenty of hydrogen and titanium over here for all of that being
Research
built.
complete.
And before we leave, we'll jump into our technology and get some of these upgrades started. We want to unlock interstellar power transmission, and we want to unlock this particular item here. This is an orbital collector. We definitely want to get the orbital collector because that's going to give us the ability to harness from our gas giant its riches. So we want to do that. And then that done, we'll come in here and we're going to pick some of these resources, these upgrades that we haven't done yet. So this one's going to increase our drone and our logistics bots, which we're not using bots right now. It's going to increase the flight speed for them. So we'll do 2 of those. And then this one increases the capacity of the bots and the drones as well. So we'll do 2 of those. And that's going to get us close to filling up our research. This one adds 50% logistic vessel speed, and that means things will get from planet to planet more quickly. And that's as much as we can do. Oh, no, we can do one more. So this adds 100 to our logistic vessel capacity. So there are some other ones that we can do that will give us more vertical research. These are more related to our solar sails when we get to building um, our uh, Dyson Sphere, the whole reason we're playing the game. And then we'll come up here. We are out, all queues are full, but we'll come up here and do our mecha upgrades. We can't get the next level of cosmic exploration yet because it requires purple cubes, which we don't have yet. Information matrix. But we'll be working our way toward those as well on the technology screen, and we'll finish getting some of these upgrades done next time. So thanks for watching. I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for your time and your consideration as you watch my videos. Hope you're enjoying this. If you would like to see something in particular, or if you have any questions, please leave me a comment. All the likes and subscriptions are appreciated, and I will catch you next time. Remember, players, see if I can get the accent with it correct this time. Mongo is appalled. Keep building, team.